Well, we are live, and
We're
I
live.
didn't put out an intro. So if you guys want to stick around, whoever is watching, once I find that fabulous intro of ours, we will go ahead and roll with it. But until then, you guys can hear a dad joke. So today, I got up,
Oh,
and tried to look for my shoes. Right, I found one, and I found one, but they wasn't the same. So it helps when you turn on the lights and you put on your glasses. Then I found out where my shoes were at. Not all dad jokes are funny, but there's like hidden meaning in all of them. No intro today, guys. So we're gonna move on.
no
We are
intro.
moving
We don't
on.
need one. Let's roll.
So if you guys have heard, there's been some talk. There was a game that happened on Turkey Day, and you guys probably heard all about that already. We'll get into that, of course. We will definitely get into it because there's a lot of leftovers left. And when you haven't beat a team, or you finally beat a team, and it takes you about 9 years to break the curse or snap the wishbone, um, yeah, that's what I was wishing for. This turkey was 49er victory, and we got it. So, guys, how you doing? We have Ty Austin here. We have David McNiner. I'm sure we have a few people in the chat that just popped up. We have John LaJoy and Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thank you very much for both coming. So, guys, the what are we going to start with first? Stuffing? Are we going straight for the turkey leg, or how about it? Let's okay. I'm gonna break it off. Special teams is doing great, except they're giving up the big returns. The kickers,
Turn.
the punter and the kicker, the long snapper, everybody's doing great, but we still are having a problem with tackling. And now,
Coverage unit.
It's
yep,
the
and
coverage unit.
now we've lost Odom,
Odom. Yep.
and he was good for us on our special teams. So
Yeah.
I know everybody's worried about Oliver. He's still around. Okay, we still got him. But you know who else I seen on special teams, and I thought it was really nice to see out there on the field, and he was doing well. Our boy, number 24, Jordan Mason. So
Jordan
even if
Mason.
he's not running the ball, he's getting out there on the field. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to put yourself in the team. And sometimes whatever position you can get on the team and be in, you got to show up. You know, you go to work every day, you don't smile, you don't say hi to anybody. Are you really part of the crew? Well, work's getting done, right? But when you start making yourself more a part of the group, starting to, you don't have to be the party guy, but you got to be part of the group, right? So even if you're a wallflower, you gotta make it in. So special teams, we love you because that's where some of our guys, the people we want to see get on the field, can come in and contribute. And they gotta wait sometimes. They have to wait until their number's called, or somebody needs to take a break. Shout out to CMC because today, this week, Turkey Day, our game that just happened a couple days ago, he said, "Coach, I need a break," and we got to see number 25, Elijah Mitchell. So all right, I think I've taken a pretty big bite. Shout out to Terradome. Thank you for coming. Let's give it up here to Ty.
Dome.
Whatever you want to start with. You want the turkey leg, you want the cranberries, you want to go for the pie, but you got to leave some for David.
Now I'll piggyback off of you for a moment here, and jump into special teams first. We know the coverage unit has not been great the past couple of weeks, and I'm putting that on Brian Schneider, right? When the defense was allegedly having all these problems, we pointed the finger right at Steve Wilkes. Coverage unit, that's Brian Schneider, is his specialty. He's supposed to be on top of that, right? Get these guys prepared. And we also are seeing this lack of situational football with him, where the 49ers have a lead. Their defense is playing awesome, lights out. He's not instructing Jake Moody to just kick it out the end zone and let these guys take over at the 25. He's still trying to execute his let's try to pin him deep corner kick maneuver, which isn't working because the coverage unit is failing. Right?
Yes.
It actually did work on one play on Thursday though, and I was like, aha, it worked. But even then, they still got it out to like the 22 or something. So it's like a 3-yard difference, right? So why even take the chance to do it? Just kick it out the end zone and let your defense continue to dominate as they have been. There's got to be something that goes on there with the coaches. Like Kyle should talk to him and say, hey, do this, okay? We did see a great attack of the ball on a punt. You know, when the guy muffed the punt and the guys were down there and they were all jumping on it, they attacked it. I mean, they went for it. I mean, that was great execution. That was great by them. I think it was Charlie Warner who threw his body into the man in the ball to deflect it, and then other guys came and recovered it. I mean, that's what you want to see. If we can get that consistently, it'd be great. Unfortunately, we don't. And I think the loss of Odom is going to affect us in some way on special teams. And now we have a huge void in backup safety. It's like, who's out there, right? So that's a big question mark for us. Knock on wood, no other injuries. But yeah, the kicking game, let's take our hats off to Big Mitch, who's been punting well all year long. And quiet is kept. Jake Moody has been downright solid. You haven't heard his name at all, have you? They don't even talk about him anymore.
Who?
It's like, oh, here comes Jake Moody. Good, okay. And the Niners. That's it. He's like a footnote now.
Oh, but he still missed that game, that kick that cost us the game, and then he missed the week after. So the hate for Jake Moody's real. So
it is real.
A little bit, I don't know, taken back a little bit, defensive a little bit about it, or let's just say, pardon my mood, because the boy's been out there, he's been solid. We're not going to call him Money Moody right now, but we're gonna definitely call him Jake Moody. So go ahead, David. Apologize, I had to get that off my chest. It was a
Hold on, I have to switch up to a white hat to be in solidarity with my guy Bryant and Jake Moody here and match it up. Okay, there we go. Kickers need love too. Go ahead, David.
That's true. Kickers are people too. They're players too, right? I mean, but when it comes to our special teams unit, losing Greg Odom is big. George Odom. Is it George Odom or Greg Odom?
George.
And truth be told, we just got Sammy Womack back, and we saw him deflect the ball back to Ronnie Bell to pin him deep.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that. And another guy we just got back on the long kickoff chased him down from behind. Luter Jr., he has speed. That's for sure. He has speed. He chased that guy down. So, as we get reinforcements back, we lose a guy that was a former all-pro special teamer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you shoot yourself in the foot and then you go ahead and just cut a toe off while you're at it. I mean, why not? Right?
Yeah, that's exactly
and at this point, our safety depth is being tested. Losing Hufunga, which is a big loss, and then we lose Odom, and now it's like, is Oliver going to be playing safety? He'd be pretty good on running downs, just not coverage,
Yeah.
But at this point, it's we have Taylor Hawkins on the practice squad, right?
Practice squad, yeah.
So I'm probably will see him get promoted. But there's one name just hanging out in my mind. I think you guys see what I'm about to say.
Death, taxes, and
Dante Johnson.
That's right, baby. Dante, baby.
You know why?
The guy can play. He plays safety, corner, any position at corner. He's not picky.
Nope.
He
just wants to get on the field.
That's
He'll
exactly
do whatever
it.
he wants to do to help.
So I was honestly expecting the signing to happen, before we're here today, but it hasn't yet.
Well,
so it's almost like I could see us going with the guy on the practice squad. I know we worked him out 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Him, Jason Verrett, we worked out a few options. But then the Niners decided to bring Luter Jr. and Womack back before signing anyone.
Yeah.
Now we got no choice. We're down to 2 safeties really on our roster.
Yep.
And a guy on the practice squad.
Yeah.
And you guys are right about Moody. He's been doing his job, so we don't hear about him. So
Yep.
not hearing about him is a great thing, folks.
It's a good.
It's a great
That's
thing.
the old "no news is good news" thing, right?
Yep. Yeah. The thing I'm loving here, I'm a big defense guy. And our defense the last 2 weeks has allowed 9 points.
Yep.
9 points against the Seahawks, who are actually, they're not a bad scoring team. The Jags, they're not a bad scoring team, and this is again at Jacksonville too.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are. We're going to be going into Philadelphia's. The vultures are circling right now, just waiting to see what they get a pick on. Hopefully, it's an Eagle, and not a 49er.
Yep.
But at this point, I'm loving what our defense is doing. Our offense is back to putting up 30 points a game plus. It's a great thing to see. But didn't we sign Dan Snyder to fix our special teams coverage unit issues?
Yeah. He's supposed to be the special teams guy.
Yeah, Hightower out, Snyder in, and we're still having these problems.
Yep. So it's like, and that's the thing that bugs me, and that's what I mean by like situationally, you have to be aware of what's going on. Like you try to execute your corner kick. Your coverage unit gives up a good return. You come out and you do it again. It's like you're up 2 scores. David, as you said, your defense is shutting it down. Why do that? Just kick the ball off, let your defense dominate, and continue to play, field position. Keep them stuck deep instead of risking a big return. Like something needs to be addressed there.
Yeah.
Paul Hope in the house. My guy.
Is he back in the UK or is he still in?
He's back home.
Still over here.
Yeah. No, he's back home.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Real quick. Paul Hope's a great guy, and Ty's met him a couple times, I believe, and really thankful for having you come in. Paul, we do this show every Monday. We rotate it on David McNire's channel, my channel, and on Ty Austin's channel, which I believe you should be subscribed to all 3. And every once in a while, we get the big man himself, Aaron. So 49ers First Take. But shout out to everybody real quick again. We have Rick Diaz, man. Yeah, I'd love to have you on the show on Saturday. Rick Diaz was giving us some love up here at top, telling us how he likes all of us. We're cool guys. And that's not the comment, but right here. So here it is. And Rick's awesome. If you guys haven't seen Rick, he's been in all kinds of 49er chats. He is a passionate fan. I confused his name the other day. It was the green with our buddy from Seattle, Eric Wallace. Shout out Eric, if you guys know Eric as well. But we have Niner Fanatic podcast also here.
What up?
He's got a great channel. Pete, come check him out. Chat is popping. So thank you again. Randy Daytona's here. If you guys know about him, check him out. Shake and Bake. El Diablo. He is the magic man. And thank you again. Thank you again. So we have to address a couple things on the team, but I don't think the sky is falling. I think
no, not at all.
This Niners team is a lot better off we're a lot better off than what we were a couple weeks ago when we went in 3-game hole. But were we really that bad when we were losing those 3 games? We've addressed the kicker. He missed, but he was that close, right? Or whatever. It don't matter. When you're down to a kick, it's a 50-50 chance, right? We had that chance to win the game. Then we go to Minnesota. We could say the offense in a whole, it's itself. And we can blame the defensive call, but not the defense themselves. I think the defense played good. We had the interceptions, they made plays, but there was a bad call, and then there was 2 bad kicks, and then we had a couple fumbles, and we had a couple interceptions, but we still played well enough. At the end of the game, we were driving. Then we threw an interception. Hey, now that happens, right? But that percentage of still having the game in your hand, last couple minutes of the game driving, you can't say like we played a game. It wasn't a bad game. We played a game we could have won. Now you go against the Bengals. The Bengals game got blown out of hand, but we were hurt. And, the Niners, were hurt. Not everybody was hurt.
But hold on. Even in that game, we were in it at the beginning of the fourth quarter. That was a 1-score game, 17-10. It wasn't until the wheels fell off in the fourth quarter that things got out of hand. But we were in that game.
I think the turning point for that game was the non-fumble, interception, strip, whatever, because the guy made a football move. I don't know. I think, you have your hands on your ball, on the ball for so long, you do your move. If you would have juked, it would have been a catch, right? But no, the guy got it hit, then it comes out. Next thing you know, it was our ball. That could totally swung the game. But, you don't want to ever put the game in the ref's hands. So, David, what's your thoughts? What would you like to see the Niners improve from this is how we broke it down. Okay. I love my wife, but we were talking. She's like, are we 9-3? I'm like, no, we're 8-3. She's like, 8-3. I thought, no, we're 9-3. I said, look, 5 in a row. Then we lost 3.
Yep.
Then we won.
Simple. 3. Yeah.
Right. And we started laughing, because
maybe she's projecting. We're going to be 9-3. She's projecting.
Boom. Right.
Brilliant. Love it.
So with the three losses, we kind of addressed. We had some injuries, but we were still in each one of the games. Each one of the games we were in it almost till the end to win it. So if you can, now we've won 3 in a row, and we're not getting too big of heads. I know I got a little bit larger of a hat on today, but what do you think we need to improve on to be able to conquer our demons, remove the skeletons in our closet, or bury them in the backyard?
Conquer our demons. Well, at this point, we just need to be consistent. Like last game, look at what we did. We went back to playing 49er football. We passed the ball 25 times. We ran the ball a lot. And that's what we do. It's the 49er DNA. You run the ball, eat the clock, score some points, and let the defense do their job. Keep them rested. And that's literally what we've done. It's what we need to keep doing. Rolling into Philadelphia, we need to run the ball on these guys. They're susceptible to it. That game I was watching with the Bills, I watched the end of it. There was another one of those. You were talking about the guy caught it. Made half of a football move. And the ball popped out. He had possession of the ball. It's like the NFL needs to address this. Because if that guy's in the end zone, he catches the ball, possesses it for half a second, throws it over his shoulder because they're calling it a touchdown. He didn't even make a football move.
Nope.
So, at that point, it's not a touchdown. Look at the calls you guys are making. That wasn't a fumble. I mean, I was watching it in slow-mo going, how is that not a fumble? And it's the new rule. You got to catch, get 2-3 steps and make a football move. Dude, the guy can possess the ball without doing all that. So, just like the tush push, I guarantee you the NFL is going to be addressing that this offseason. because it's as bad as the special teamer climbing up the other special teamer's back to block the kick. It's just as bad.
Yep.
It's the same concept, right?
Exactly.
But our demons stay healthy.
Yep.
You know, that's the biggest demon we have to fight right there.
Mhm.
Got to stay healthy. Got to keep running the ball. I did like CMC coming out of the game and letting Elijah Mitchell back in, though. It looks like Elijah Mitchell might be, back. Hopefully he can stay healthy. There's no guarantee there, though.
Really quickly, we got a good question from Randy. I'm going to get to that, but David,
Yeah.
let everybody know. Well, let me do it. Ty, you're familiar with the Tom Grossi, the Packer Cast.
Yeah.
Amazing channel. If you guys haven't seen it, please go check it out. Just type in Tom Grossi, and then I think we've talked about this a couple times, at least on my channel here. He did this amazing fundraiser for St. Jude. He's always doing fundraisers. He's always doing something neat on his channel.
Mhm.
The guy's got like a really major platform. So when you get his opportunity to maybe give back or maybe, but this is the way his direction of his channel has always been. It's not about me. It's about us, right? It's about the team. It's about the love for the game. So Tom Grossi did this 30 for 30. He went around to all the NFL stadiums. I got to meet him at Levi's. Super awesome. But sometimes during the games, because how he's made his channel grow is probably by streaming games. And he doesn't just stream Niner games. He streams all the games. So he doesn't stream Niner games typically. He streams all the games, but Packer Cast. So, when there's Packer game on, he's definitely streaming that. But, he'll pick like the Packers, and then he'll pick like the later game, somebody else random. And then sometimes he'll do the Sunday night. He'll do the Monday night. So now that we've had a game on almost every day of the week, he has been able to stream every game because, shout out to Black Friday. But what's really cool, we had a turkey game, and David's great. David is like super awesome. And David's everywhere. So if you guys see him, he's in a chat or he'll be on a channel. Sometimes he's not always on his channel, right? But David McNair, please check his name out. Go check it out on YouTube and subscribe. But what David did for one of our fellow friends, fellow content creators, he picked up the call and he started to stream the game. And
Nice.
David, what happened? What happened, David?
I had a Tom Grossi raid roll through. All kinds of people in chat. I was like, I saw the Grossi raid. It's like, sweet, And Tom Grossi is a good guy. He did the 30 and 30, all the proceeds went to charity, and he did hit every NFL stadium. But I actually had over 100 subscribers for a minute, folks.
Nice.
I'm down to 87, but it's still more than I had before. I'm grateful for every one of them. And that stream is actually got 391 views at this point.
Nice.
So what happens?
Which is insane for my small channel. That's just insane.
Yeah. What happens in a Tom Grossi raid, and if you guys haven't heard about this before, but big streams, they'll look at littler streams and they'll say, hey, go say hi to them real quick, right? So then, and then, shout out Tom Grossi or Grossi Posse or, Grossi raid. So then everybody will start showing up in your channel, and then you get like 400 people in your channel real quick because he's got thousands of people watching him, in one stream. So it's pretty cool. People will subscribe. Some people will unsubscribe later on, but the idea is, hey, show somebody else out there. So he calls it chaotic good. So, hey, I'm freaking fracking excited. And he also says that too. So I'm coining a couple words because it's just one of those days. But David, the turkey game, your thoughts, could it have been any juicier? I mean, are you satisfied, or did you want more? I mean, I guess we always want more, right?
We could have put up a 40 burger.
Yep.
I'm very happy about the fact that our players got to eat turkey on Seattle's field. They didn't do it right on the sea chicken in the middle of the field. Well, sea turkey. It's Turkey Day.
Right.
In the middle of the field, but they still got to do it. CMC said that turkey was hot and juicy. He said it was good. And then George Kittle must have thought it was good because he took off with it and ran back to the locker room to
He
share
took
with
the
the
whole
rest
thing.
of the team.
That's right.
So before we move on to the questions in the chat, I want to ask you guys: do you think that the Niners kind of have this? Dallas is an exception because I think what happened with the Dwight Clark day and everything that happened that day when we lost, I want to say in 2017, they really took it to us really good in front of everybody there. And I think the Niners haven't really got that out of their system. I know there's a rivalry, but I think. But what I'm getting at is you see sometimes like teams will rout another team. And I'm not seeing that with the Niners, not that we're not capable of doing it, not that we haven't done it, but I see us kind of taking the breaks, like hitting the brakes a little bit, maybe a mutual respect or something like, hey, we already put 30 points up on you. You got 3 points on the board. Do you want us to keep playing? And that's when I start seeing a little bit of a, comeback from the other team sometimes, not every time. So like there's exceptions. But you have to understand there's a context with it. We played the Panthers. They spanked us really bad a couple years ago. I want to say like 2014 or 2015. It was like 40-3 or something, really bad score. Then we come back and we've done it to them since Kyle Shanahan era. Okay. And I know we've done it to some teams, but I think that's because they've done it to us and we're getting even. But with the Seahawks, we've seen games where the Seattle Seahawks have put like 42 points. I think it was the 42-13 or 42-12 after we beat the Patriots in 2013 and went on to the Super Bowl. The Seahawks beat us in that game. So with that, that kind of thoughts, do you guys see us like being, I don't know, polite to other teams? Because it doesn't seem like the Niners didn't do this to Sean McVay, to the Rams, even though the Rams tried to kick that field goal at the end of the game to like, I don't know, make Vegas happy or something. So Ty, do you see the Niners having like this unspoken, unwritten agreement with teams until they've done something? Because I don't see us being vicious to teams.
No, we just go out and play our football. And when the coaches when it's at the end of the game, it's out of hand, coaches will put in backups, play conservative, do things like that to keep guys fresh and just get us out the building healthy. It's no vendetta, no, taking the foot off the gas. It's just playing smart football, right? You're in the game. It's a blowout. You don't want your starters out there risking injury. Get them out the game. Keep guys healthy. Let the backups get some run, right? And let's just get out the building. That's why you see us just running the ball over and over. So it's no malice or anything. It's not taking foot off the gas. It's just being smart about football. And a lot of these guys are young. They don't even think about that old stuff unless you're George Kittle, who gets it. Like George Kittle gets it. He understands 49ers history big time. But everybody else, they don't care.
So I would agree. David, what's your thoughts? Same question. Do you think the Niners are, somewhat nice to teams at a certain point? Once you see that we're beating you, we kind of let up a little bit. Like Ty did say, we do put our backups in. We try. At least we've been telling them, put the backups in. And, it's like, then everybody wants to go back. What happened to Detroit? No. That's one game. Bring the backups, put them in. That's how they get their playing time. But, we're not trying to run points up on teams. And I guess my point's kind of like, example would be the Cowboys. You see the Cowboys are putting 40, 50 points up on every team. But when they play a good team, the Eagles, the Niners, that's not happening, right? So
because they can't. Just because they can't. They're beating bad teams. And it's like, okay, yeah, but they play against a good team, a team that's leading their division or a contender, and they can't do it. Right?
So why put up 40, 50 points against a bad team when everybody knows it's a bad team? You're just trying to show everybody you got stats. Stats don't matter, right?
Make themselves look good. That's all it is. Make themselves look good. 5 of Dallas's wins this year have come against last place teams. What am I supposed to do with that?
Wow.
Exactly.
David,
exactly.
Same question, man. Me and Ty have been jumping in and out. Are the Niners greedy? Do we have to put up 50 points against a bad team, or do we just care about the W? Because again, Dallas, why are you putting up 50 points against the team that did? You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna do it again in like 2 weeks. They're not 500 teams. They're below 500. So
Well, you know what? Once you hit the playoffs, yes, we're talking about the playoffs.
Playoffs.
It turns into a totally different game. You're all of a sudden you're playing good football teams, and Dallas, they actually had a chance to beat the Eagles at Philadelphia, and they couldn't get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Literally had a couple chances to go up in that game, and they couldn't get it done. Just like, all right, Buffalo yesterday. They had a chance to win the game and walk away. They couldn't get it done. The Eagles right now are barely beating teams. Dallas is destroying the teams, but when you're playing the guys in last place, yeah, you're going to destroy them. But at this point, we just got to worry about us, buddy.
Exactly.
We got to win football games, let the rest play out. The Cowboys will be going up against the Eagles, the Lions, the Seahawks, actually. I think they have the Seahawks next week.
Yeah, we get to.
So they're going to be playing some teams that aren't the bottom feeders. So we'll see what they're made of here shortly.
So this was the question in the chat. We have a couple questions, and we'll try to get to all of them. Thank you all for coming. Keep asking questions, pop in. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to all 3 channels and tell a friend, because it's awesome. It really truly is fun to talk with other fans that are passionate. So Ty, maybe you can explain this a little bit more. I know David knows a little bit on this. I'm not too into breaking down the dates and everything in the schedule. I like running over it and seeing who's playing. But when it comes to some more of the analytic stuff, like, we have 3 Thursday night games, I look at it, but it doesn't register in me. I got too many things I'm thinking about, but it just doesn't. Oh wow, we get a Monday night football game, and then it doesn't click to me. But wait, there's ramifications to that. Like, you got a short week now, but we get to play on Monday night, right? So I'm like, hey, we're gonna be the only game on, right? It's Monday, but then you have to play on Thursday. You're like, whoa, we play on Thursday. How many days of rest? So when I'm looking at the schedule, that never breaks. I'm not thinking of it that way, right? I'm always looking to see who's kicker we have to play that week. So, Ty, did anyone hear this crazy information about how when we play the Ravens, they'll have 20 days more rest than us? Can you elaborate, and can you let us know what you know on that?
Yeah, this was discussed when the schedule came out, how little rest the 49ers would have this year. We were at the bottom of the league in terms of rest days, because of how much we have to travel and playing on short weeks, things of that nature. Our rest days in between games is kind of null and void. Last year, we were amongst the league leaders in rest, because most of our games toward the end of the season were at home. And then when we did travel, we took a short trip to Seattle and then a short trip to Vegas. That was it, right? So we got a lot of rest. This year, we're flying all across the country, up and down, everywhere. So the rest is minimal. The Ravens are the opposite of that. Most of their games are primarily on the East Coast, where they are based. They have a lot of back-to-back home games. They're not playing on Thursday nights. So they get a full amount of weeks rest for them. So it's just one of those things of how the schedules play out. Last year we were very lucky. This year we got slammed. If you look at this year over year, most years we get slammed because we're always traveling from coast to coast. And we know how sometimes we had to stay on the East Coast because we had back-to-back games out there, right? It is what it is. So, we've been in this situation before. These guys know how to handle it. So we'll be okay. But yeah, it is a crazy thing.
Definitely not crying about it. You heard Ty.
Yeah.
We've been in this situation before. We typically are normally a decent team. Throughout the years, we've had some dark days, but even during the dark days, you have to play solid teams. And sometimes the schedules aren't favorable. So again, not crying about it, but it's not always fun. And if it's true that AI generated this schedule, well, AI doesn't like you or me or the Niners. David, what's your thoughts? Is it crazy that we're only getting this a little amount of time? And why are we playing 4 teams off bye weeks? We are playing 3 off in their own bye week. We only had one that we're gonna play. We played the Bengals, right? And that was our bye week, and we got smacked, right? So, well, no, I'm sorry. We played the Jaguars, and that was our bye week where we
it was our bye week also, right?
Yeah. So, but we played 4 teams this year on bye weeks, and the last one that we have to play is the Cardinals, and we don't get any rest in between then.
Nope.
Your thoughts?
On the rest days?
On the rest days, are they overrated? What do you think?
I honestly look at it like I think what these guys are thinking about is when we have to travel and fly. I don't think they're counting those as rest days. You know, this next week, look at our rest days between this game and the next game, and we have 3 days off. We're going to be flying back east. Hopefully they're already back there, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked into this yet. But got to fly back east to play the Phillies at Philadelphia. Yep. Hopefully the stadium band batteries, because we're going in there playing great and 100% ready for a battle. But I honestly don't. Rest days, like, unless if we play, like you said, like say we play Sunday night and then we're playing a Thursday, that's kind of a short week. I don't know if they've ever done someone play a Monday night game and then have to go play a Thursday night game. I don't think they've ever done that. But you know, I don't like the short weeks. You know how I feel about Thursday night games. Yeah. Brian already knows I don't like them, because you know the NFL is a violent sport. You don't get enough time to heal between games. You know, that's a very short time frame. And, you know, most of these guys are adapted to playing once a week. You know, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, we're going to have you play on Thursday. And this, you know, Turkey Day is kind of a tradition. We had 3 games on Turkey Day. You know, we happened to have the night game. And I was all ate up and had my food in me, and I was just kicking it while I was actually streaming it with Ryan, filling in for my guy.
Nice.
For one of my guys there. And I just don't read into rest days too much, you know.
So we've talked about this a little bit, but I think it really is great, and I think it needs to be addressed as much as possible. Preseason, there's not as many preseason games. There's not as many training camp days. There's not as many practices during the training camps. Now, everybody said, oh, you know, maybe they're training, they're doing different, you know, they're not getting hurt as much. But there's not as many players on the roster, you know, at one, you know, like training camp had so many more people. So maybe not everybody's getting hit as much as, you know, the analytics say or whatnot. But you still had training against other players. It was almost like you had 3 different teams or something like that you were playing, you know. So it's like, no, this guy isn't going to be here at the beginning of the season, but he's really good, and I'm going to get better because I'm playing against him. No, we're not going to another team and scrimmaging against them, and then now they know how we play, or they know our stat. No, that's not. This is in-house, and they made it smaller. And I know the NFL is all about money, and they're not going to do this, but maybe they should potentially go to 1 bye week, you know, in the middle of the season. Everybody take a break, go to Cabo that week, call it whatever you want to call it, but they're not going to do it because we can't take a break and say we don't want to miss out on football. football, and I know you guys are just a little bit older than me, but not by much. When I started watching football, there wasn't a Thursday night football game. Thursday night football games, it came in, and it wasn't for like the entire season either. It's like it wasn't Thursday. It wasn't crazy, and now it's starting to get crazy. And man, now we got a Friday game too. And who in the players' union said this is a good idea? You know what I mean? Like, because it's all about the players' union, right? They're the ones who are signing up for it. If it was up to them, they'd get 2 bye weeks. They wanted an extra game. They said, "Well, give us 2 bye weeks." They didn't give us 2 bye weeks. They took a preseason game away. A game fans see, when you take away games from fans, how do fans get to see the team? Through a television screen? Through, you know what I mean? Like, people want to go in person and see it and hear it and smell it. They want to be a part of it, right? Because on this day, you know, I was there, right? I seen the hit, you know. So I don't know, guys. I definitely think that, you know, practice is important and the preseason is important, and, you know, the rest days are important. And when you have a team that has a harder schedule than another, boo-hoo, right? You can't make teams be better teams, right? You can't make teams win, right? You can if you rig it, but still there's talent, right? So when you have a team that's really talented playing against another team that's talented, and there's the only difference is somebody's looking at it and saying, well, they have more rest days. Sometimes those rest days do add up and you do get a win out of it. You know, you don't want to play exhausted. So if that means, like, you know, hey, you got to take away a couple Thursday night games or quit adding random Friday night game. What's the next game? Kwanzaa? What's the next game we're going to get, guys?
A game every day during Hanukkah.
Right?
Oh, man.
Ty, we had one more question. It was from Ty. It was from Paul Hope, and he says, what's the panel's thoughts on Steve Wilks? I'm going to just tag it. What's the panel's thoughts on Steve Wilks? He was in for a lot of heat earlier in the season.
Well, everybody just pointed the finger at him. That's all it was. They were looking for a scapegoat, something to blame for the losses. So they pointed the finger at him, right? Your defense causes fumbles, gets an interception, only gives up 19 points, and you get blamed for the loss, right? Your offense only scores 17. You're supposed to have this high-powered offense. You only gave up 17 points. I mean, you only scored 17 points, and that's your fault that you lose. All right? You go to another game. Yeah, you make a boneheaded call at the end of the half and give up a touchdown. Okay. But in the second half of that game, you only give up. What'd you say?
Yeah, what time was that call made? I mean, you know, you just said it.
At the end of the half. There's still a whole nother half to play. And in that other half, your defense only gives up 2 field goals. And in the fourth quarter, at the end of the fourth quarter, within a 1-score game, 5 points, your defense makes stops and gives the ball once again back to your offense to go win the game twice. And they don't get it done, and they blame you. Okay, all righty. Let's go to the third game. You're in a 1-score game. In the fourth quarter, you're down a touchdown. Your quarterback throws an interception on the 3-yard line instead of a touchdown, and they blame you. Right? I do believe the quarterback went on to throw 2 more interceptions in that fourth quarter, and they somehow blame the defense. It's a scapegoat. It was just pointing the finger, scapegoat. Oh, it's just the defense's fault. The defensive coordinator, he's messing up. Okay, sure, all right.
Did you hear what they asked him, Wilks?
What?
David, Ty, did you hear what they asked him, and did you hear what his rebuttal was?
No. What was the question and what was their rebuttal?
they asked him about, like, do you feel like there's a lot of heat coming on you? And this might not be the exact words for words, but like
I remember.
So you know what he said?
What?
I was built for this.
Oh yeah. That's right. That was the I was built for
He's
this.
not
quote.
afraid.
Yeah.
He wants it. You come at him.
He wants all the smoke.
Guy. That's right. Let's go. And what happened? He believed in his guys. He came down. He did what they told him to do. Maybe that was a good move. Hey, everybody out on the field, bring that bump box closer to everybody, right? So, but, we're winning right now, and winning's all that matters. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you win by a big score, a little score. If you come back at the end, we are not the cardiac kids, but it's nice to win, and not win last second. But if you win last second, everybody still says, you can't count them out. Can't count them out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, David, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Steve Wilks? Do you like him? Love him, hate him? Want him to hire him as our next?
I like him. I like him. Now, during the 3-game skid, it was all 3 phases were messing up, man. Defense, it was like penalties against the defensive backs, giving them first downs, stuff like that.
Tackles.
Yep, missed tackles.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaiah Oliver couldn't cover this old lady that lives across my street.
Nope.
I'm not gonna lie. But and there was just a lot going on. All 3 phases failed during the 3-game losing streak. It wasn't just the defense.
Yep.
Wilks is just who everyone got centered on. But now the man is on the field. He made a change. He benched Oliver. He put Lenore in at nickel, and he brings in Ambry Thomas in nickel situations to play the boundary. And shout out to my guy Ty here. He actually he talked about how they're 2 different jobs, and you have to be able to flip a switch.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to me like he can just flip that switch.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
He has fully adjusted. I
agree.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Lenore.
It's very impressive.
We need to keep this kid, for the long term.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, Steve Wilks, I'm still, I said it in the offseason that it's a good hire because he's going to help our defensive backs be better. Then the 3-game skid happened, and Javarius Ward was giving me flashbacks to Josh Norman, and it was not good. And Isaiah Oliver couldn't cover anything. He just couldn't cover. So he's made the necessary adjustments. He's on the sideline. Actually looks like he's energized to me. When they actually show him. Oh, he's not a big energy guy. That's not what I'm seeing.
Well, they're focused on him now. They show him all the time now on the sideline, and it's like, why is this a thing? It's weird the way the broadcasts focus on stuff. Like, how many times do you have to show Pete Carroll chewing gum? It's
Seattle has
we don't need to see that.
Seattle has Pete Carroll. We have Steve Wilks. Kansas City has Taylor Swift. I mean, you got to be happy with what you got, right?
Oh,
I swear there was a time in that Seattle game they were showing Pete Carroll and his mouth was open. He's kind of doing this like he swallowed his gum.
Mm-hmm. It's
all right.
weird.
We got one more question for Paul Hope. This one's designated for Ty. Question for Ty. What was your favorite moment from the Bucs game?
Just hanging out with everybody. It was such a blast. It's like the same with the Giants game. It's like meeting people face to face for the first time and having that in-person energy and just being, amongst your friends, right? Like we meet online and we're friends, and then we get in person and it's like we really are friends. There's this camaraderie, there's this friendship, and we're together in arms rooting for our team. It's just wonderful. It doesn't beat any experience out there, right? We can get together and talk about the games and root on game day online, but being right next to each other and talking, there's nothing like it.
No, it's not. It truly isn't because sometimes people say words and you don't understand it clearly. You don't hear their their dialect, or you don't get their sarcasm. Their mannerisms or something like that. So like, am I a Sam Darnold fan? No. Am I a
Big Ray.
hater? Am I a hater? No. But do I want to say something funny at the game everybody's going to go home and giggle about later? Yeah. So
Sam
when I hear
Area.
Sam Area, right?
Sam
You're not going to remember it. When Moody scores a field goal and I'm dancing, you guys are going to be like, next time you see it on TV, you're going to be like, I bet Brian's dancing somewhere,
Yep.
That's how people become, more friendlier. They get to know each other. It's about relationships, and that's what's cool about football. It really, truly is. So
sorry, guys. This is the closest thing I got. So
it's all right. We're all
it's
right.
just the hat the players use now. So that's all I got.
Yeah, exactly. You have the official team hat. I got some kind of like I don't know, like it's too cool for school hat, right? And Ty's got the one down there that everybody should be wearing. Dino wants one, but Ty's wearing his.
I saw Dina's comment. Yeah, it's a Stay Faithful official cap. They're coming. I got you, Dina.
Yeah. So no,
hey,
this is
Ryan.
Everything's cool, but
you said something about Sam Area. Remember, we saw his family at the game.
I really think
we were right by the concession stand, and Ty knows where this was for the location. He was there. So where we were right by the concession stand that was closest to us. We were eating, and here come four folk in Sam Darnold jerseys. It's like, who else is going to be wearing Sam Darnold jerseys?
Yeah, 4 people. Yeah,
it was his family. It was his parents, his wife or girlfriend. It was his family.
Hey, they liked it when I yelled Sam Area. They did. They walked a little bit prouder, like
they had a little extra strut in their step, like
they did. They're like, hey, recognition, recognize, right? But hey, guys, thank you so much for coming. It's been a great chat, great show. Before you leave, shout out to Raven if he's still here. I did this on my channel on Sunday. David, I kind of showed David some stuff too many times, but I hope he doesn't mind it. It's a little 10-second little clip. I want you guys, your final thoughts real quick. What does this mean? What does it mean? Right? Okay, so there is something about colors. There is something about numbers. And here's some pretty pictures. Let me know.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What does it mean? Either it means the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl against the Vikings, or the Niners and the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl. Let's play that one more time, folks. It's 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds.
It's happened 4 years in a row, believe it or not. 4 years in a row. The colors that are on the Super Bowl logo, the teams have those colors in their colors that are going to the game. They end up going. So, is it are they foreshadowing here? Could they be?
I think
you never know, right?
Think, I love it.
Ty's going, you got to be kidding. Hold on a second.
No, what's weird is the 49ers are the only team in the NFC that has a primarily red uniform, unless you count the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are not making a run to the playoffs.
No.
Right? So the only way it would work is either Niners, Ravens, or Vikings, Chiefs. That's it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
absolutely right.
It's gonna be a rematch, one way or the other, because haven't the Chiefs and the Vikings played each other in a Super Bowl? If I'm correct, I think I'm correct. And I don't know. I mean, I gotta go double check that now. But Vikings have been to 4 Super Bowls, so I gotta double check that. But guys, thank you all for coming. It's been great chat. Everybody's great here. Darwin's Raven, Levi, he is the one who told me that cool little conspiracy theory. And I don't think it's a theory. I think it's an equation that might have the potential of coming true. And I like our options and our chances. So yeah, guys.
Well, folks, if you don't know what a Kegel is, Google Kegel. And Kegel's your next.
We're going to be doing it again. We don't know when Aaron's going to be back. We'll figure that out. Aaron's under the weather, and we will figure out when Aaron's back for sure.
Get well, buddy.
It'll either be David, or Ty, or me next time. I believe we'll have
it's my turn. So next week, tune into the Stay Faithful channel and you catch us.
Ty's turn.
Yeah.
Oh, later, speaking of Levi, there he is. He's in the chat. What up? What up, Levi?
Okay, he says Dobbs not looking good against the Bears. So if you guys are watching the game right now, that's what he's talking about. And I think I'm gonna go catch a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Check in with us later. Come back to the video. I'll have description links. If you're not subscribed to everybody, you can go right there and go from there. We'll be on Ty's channel next week. Check us out on Twitter. If you're not following us there, we will be posting there. Hey, if you find me on Facebook, find me there as well. But we will be posting and letting you know next time we go live. And stay faithful. Go Niners. David, let's send this out.
Go Niners and F the Lambs.
All right.